Alright guys, time to talk about foot trading. It is your time now to join the dozens of new members we get every single week learning how to trade on the FIFA market. You might be thinking to yourself, well, FIFA's coming towards an end. Now is the perfect time to trade. It's when the market is the most consistent, there's not too much jumping up and down, and it allows you to basically focus on how the market goes up and down, and you're able to then make a lot of coins very quickly. You can then use the knowledge you've gained now to apply that to FIFA 23 and gain yourself a massive head start on everyone else when you're able to build the best teams on the game. So check out the website, but for now, let's get into the video. Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to a brand new video with me, Fuzzball40. As always, if you're new around here, make sure you subscribe down below. It massively helps your channel to grow. Make sure you click that like button. Again, it makes a massive difference on YouTube algorithm. I'm always on this with you guys and we're trying to grow the channel. You might see loads of stuff behind me. That's all being listed, stuff from the second channel that we do all of our buying and selling, reselling stuff. So if you want to check that out, do check the link out below. But today we are going to quickly take a dive into something that I think is very important for you guys to know, and I think it slips past people. EA have just released some of their figures basically for how much money they've made across all of their titles, but I want to show you just how much money they make from FIFA and other sort of sports games that they have, and why it is so dangerous what they are doing, and how much little we're getting back in return, and how they've gone about doing what they're doing. So we're going to look at their figures and finances, and it will blow your mind. I'll be right back. Alright, so just want to go over this first bit here, which is the Q1 F23 highlights, basically the first quarter of the financial year 2023. And the main things to take away from it, and we'll break that down massively. So the first is total net bookings for the trading 12 months was £7.4 billion, up 22% from where they were previously in the last 12 months. Net bookings basically just means sort of financial matters, like finance they've got in terms of what they brought in. It's different to net revenue, but you can make basically a really good idea of what they're making financially from using that. So that's what they use. Live services and other net bookings for the trading 12 months were up 20% and represent 73% of total net bookings. I'll explain that in a second. The EA Player Network grew to nearly 600 million active accounts at quarter end. This is vitally important because obviously I've played FIFA for years and I still do the same thing. What happens is as people get older and start to engage with FIFA more people just add to that total, and not that many people fall off because you've still got 40, 50-year-olds that play FIFA from when they were younger and continue through. So they're gaining huge amounts of player numbers year on year that just keep growing their operating services, okay? Net cash provided by operating activities was 1.96 billion for the trading 12 months. Huge amounts of money, right? So you want to have a little look at here. Key business drivers, net bookings, all right? Total net bookings for the Q1, live services grew 8%, equivalent to 10% at constant currency. Don't worry about that. Live services, 1.13 billion. The whole FIFA esports FIFA franchise was strong during the quarter. FIFA Online delivered engagement records. FIFA Mobile delivered record quarterly DAUs. And FIFA Ultimate Team engagement grew 40% year over year in weekly and daily average players. Let's have a little look at this though, which is vitally important, okay? So if you look at the trading 12 months, this here represents the full game, essentially the game that's been bought, that's it. This here, this gigantic thing here in Q1 represents their live services. Now, if you don't know what live services is, that is any of the engagement within the game, okay? So that amounts to things like FIFA points, the stuff you spend in Madden, all of those games, right? But FIFA is by far and large the main part of EA's full stop on what they make overall. In fact, FIFA makes so much money that EA are known to have loss-making titles that they've maintained and continue to bring out because they can do that with how strong FIFA is. Now, break that down. That is nearly £8 billion they have made last year. 5.45 billion through live services. Now let's put that into context with FIFA. This year on FIFA we had something that was ridiculous in terms of the sheer amount of promos that came out. It was promo after promo. I believe we only had a total of 3 weeks on the game cycle this year without a promo, some form of special card, some form of promo and stuff in packs. Okay, that's the only time we didn't have one. That was problematic in my opinion for two reasons. The first was because it does encourage people to spend a lot of money on FIFA points to engage, and the figures show that without a doubt. And the second is what it did to everybody on the game is it devalued their teams. The EA devalued your cards constantly because you go and buy a card from a promo, a week later another promo would drop and it would deflate the value of your card. You then, unless you were a trader and didn't know what you were doing, of course, because a lot of people aren't traders, they go and sell that card for a loss. They've got to make up the coinage that you've missed out from that card to buy one of the new cards. What do people do? Bang some money on their account, put some FIFA points on, and they go and open up packs to do that, okay? And EA actively did that this year. And for me, they knew what they were doing. We all knew they knew what they were doing. They devalued cards left, right, and centre. They kept bringing out SBC cards that were very similar in terms of quality to some of the ones that were in packs. So suddenly you had, I don't know, a German centre-back that was good, and 2 days later, a German centre-back would come out from that promo, during that promo, that was an SBC, and then that German centre-back would be worth like 10% of what he was worth because the exact same card existed via SBC. Now, a lot of us ran SBC only and untradeable only teams. I know I did because I wanted to use my coins to be able to make content for you guys. But it is absolutely ridiculous figures. Something that's quite clear, console does do well. PC is up significantly, but look at mobile. Plus 49%, okay? In terms of their basic year-on-year growth. That is dangerous to me. When you've got a console, as parents, it's very easy to look at a console and lock things down and not put financial details onto them. But mobile is much more, I guess I'm trying to think of the best word for it though, accessible. It's a lot harder for parents or for someone to see what you're doing on mobile. And mobile, when you hold a phone in your hand, it just doesn't feel like you're spending a lot of money. But you see people that start to get involved in that sort of spiral of debt and whatever it is by buying stuff on mobile because they're just sitting there and flicking through. And there's no real, I guess, age check on either console or mobile. But on mobile, it's very, very easy just to go, all right, cool, well, I'm old enough to go and buy this stuff, so I'll go and purchase this stuff. Bear in mind that FIFA doesn't have a rating that requires them to sell to not be able to sell to younger people. Because, in my opinion, I've said it before, EA's FIFA points are gambling. That's simple as it gets. They're gambling. There's no doubt about that in my mind at all. You can keep flicking through and see all the stuff basically, and sort of see all the titles they've got. But net revenue 7.6 for the financial year 23, and they're sort of guiding about 7.6 to 7.8 billion pounds, which is unbelievable. Obviously, operating expenses very, very high. They do spend a lot on things to do with whether it's developing games. But FIFA as a title has less money spent on it than the majority of other titles on the game. So Star Wars, when it used to be a big thing, had far more money spent on it than FIFA ever did. Yet FIFA, us as FIFA players, underpin the whole of EA's portfolio basically. Without Ultimate Team, EA would not be doing what they're doing with other games. It would be next to impossible. Why do I think it was so bad this year? And it starts down to the very beginning of the game. When the game first came out, this year for the pre-order, people got given 4,600 FIFA points, I believe it was. People were given FIFA points rather than packs, okay? EA put a currency in the hands of every single person that pre-ordered the game, I believe up till, might have been the Ultimate Edition, might be the one below that. But to every single person, okay? That is literally like a taste test. Here's a little sample of what you can get by opening up packs with these FIFA points. Now go and buy more. And they did that to everyone, no matter their age on the game, no matter who they were given to every single player. And it was so dangerous. I said at the time it was wrong and it was dangerous, and I maintain that now it is wrong and it is dangerous. And when you look at the sheer amount of money that has been made from things like FIFA growing 40%, it being stronger and stronger year on year, making more and more money, it is just absolutely obvious that EA have played on multiple things. FOMO from multiple promos this year. The fact that they literally put FIFA points into every player's hand. No matter whether you wanted to or not, they put FIFA points onto your account. And most people, rightly, opened those packs up because they had a right. Now, people like me, I game showed my brother, so he got them. He knows not to spend money on FIFA points. He doesn't need to. Other people won't. It will give them a taste test. And it happens without being blunt. You get things like drug dealers, and they'll give people a taster of what they're getting and know that they're going to hook them on it. And it's disgusting behaviour. Bookies. do the exact same thing. They give players free bets. They give players a taste of what they can win. And if that player goes and win with a free bet, they may then go, right, well, I know I can win, so let me keep putting money on. Let me keep putting money on. And then they do a thing called chasing their losses. And they go, okay, cool, here you go. I've lost £100 yesterday. I'm now going to put £100 on today to try and win that £100 back. They lose that money. And it becomes a gambling addiction spiral, and it disgusts me. It absolutely disgusts me. Don't get me wrong, I understand they need some form of something in the game, whether it's currency, whatever it is, to be able to invest in things. The problem I've got is they haven't invested in Ultimate Team in any way, shape or form. Haven't really invested in career mode. This year looks like a better game year, but you say that every single year and nothing changes at all. Nothing changes at all. They need some sort of currency, but I say this as someone who has a trading website that basically is the alternative to FIFA points. If FIFA points went, there's a potential that would affect our website, but morals are more important than that at times. And I cannot understand how they're allowed to get away with the sheer amount of money they're making and the sheer amount of lives they're ruining. There are FIFA point gambling addictions out there. They exist. So many of them, our community used to have them. Some of them still have them, and we try and help them with that as much as we possibly can. But this is the most striking thing to me at times. The full game there with sort of 2 billion and then the live services online at 5.5 billion nearly. It's absolutely nuts. I'll leave below the links for you guys for everything that you need to know about this video. If you want to go and take a read of that, the sort of actual in-depth readings release and forward-looking stuff, all this sort of stuff that they're going to bring out and show you the amount of money they're making. In my opinion, this is a kick in the teeth for every single FIFA Ultimate Team player that was mugged off this year. But have a little look at it. Let me know what you think. Comment down below. All that awesome stuff. But if you're new around here, make sure you subscribe down below. Make sure notifications are turned on so you never miss an upload. But for now, I'm out. Peace out. I'll speak to you soon.